I am Feel It.
And I am Fix It. And we talk about life.
And stuff and things.
With the occasional rant.
Which you will have no problem doing.
Hello. Good morning. Good afternoon, good evening, or good night. Whatever it is, wherever you are, we hope you're having a good one.
Yep.
Wow. All right.
Are you making fun of me right now?
Yes. No, not making fun.
Yes, you said yes first.
I am not making fun. It's just, yeah. For those who've been keeping track, you are less than a week.
4 days.
Yeah.
4 days post
Yep.
partial hysterectomy.
So you're early in the healing stages.
Yeah.
So you are slightly drugged and very sore.
I was what I thought doing well coming off of the oxy. And then I developed some extreme bruising, very significant.
Yeah.
Both of my sides of my abdomen reaches around to my back.
Yep.
And I mean, like, it's black. It's black and purple and
Oh, yeah.
it's all kinds of shades of
Anybody that's seen
ugly.
somebody that's been in a car wreck, that's those really deep bruises from the seatbelt, that's what they look like. They're
yeah. So developed, I would say, pretty quickly. But got significant. Like,
yeah.
You know, I'd lay down to take a nap and then wake up and I'm like, why is it darker? And it just started spreading and I'm talking like a lot.
Yes.
A lot of my abdomen into my back.
Yeah, you've got a band almost going 3/4 of the way around you at this point.
And it's incredibly painful. It's swollen. It's incredibly painful. So, back on the oxy I went. You know, I don't believe, I mean, I think it's just pain in recovery. I don't have these symptoms that the doctor had said to watch for to go into the ER.
Yep.
Though I will say it's crossed my mind a few times. Because I don't know.
No. And yeah, there's so many don't knows, and you did have surgery.
I did.
And I'm imagining my somewhat educated guess that the amount of bruising is due to you were very, very nauseous after.
Nauseous? That's that's putting it subtle.
Yeah, you were dry heaving and vomiting
hours
for quite a while post procedure, and I'm guessing
because there wasn't anything left to vomit.
I'm guessing that caused the internal incisions. Because they had to go through the abdominal wall, so I'm guessing those bled some, and then it took a couple of days for that to seep through the tissues, which would result in the amount of bruising that you've got right now, which is fairly significant.
Well, the doctor didn't refute it when I did tell her that.
No.
Had hours of vomiting and dry heaving. So, you
Yep.
know, and when it's messenger nowadays, right?
Yep.
It's messenger. You got to send the message. You got to send the photos. I didn't get to talk to my own doctor because he was in surgery all day, and that's fine. God bless him.
It's definitely understood. Yeah.
You know, I'm not that far from the ER.
Actually, this is one of those. That dude is kind of an assembly line in the surgery, because I was in the waiting area and he came out to talk to somebody else he just finished up. It's like while you were in recovery, he did another procedure and finished the procedure and was coming back out to update those people like, dude, you're like,
He gets it done.
there's no
They
wasted
told
time
me.
in that
They
operating.
told me that.
Yeah.
They did tell me that. But I will also be addressing the faux pas that led to, or more than likely, highly contributed to
Mhm.
the vomiting and the illness. Trying
Yeah.
to go through different steps and things with my specialist to
Yep.
to circumvent this problem. Only that was the most violent I have ever been.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, last time was definitely better than that.
And can't tell me that didn't contribute.
No.
Nor was that refuted when I explained that was the only abnormal thing. Because,
Mhm.
the doctor in her message said that that's not normal. Well, the only thing abnormal for me, and this was my third round of incisions in my abdomen in 2 years, was they didn't follow the instructions. I was not given medicine in the time and fashion that was directed. So that discussion will be had. I'd expected it to have it yesterday, but nobody called. So, don't worry. I know how to call them.
Yep. This is true.
But can't speak highly enough of the weighted heating pad. It's 5 pounds. It's amazing.
That nice, consistent, even pressure. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even have it plugged in right now. It's just on me.
Yeah, it's pretty well. I mean, it's thick and furry, so I would imagine it holds heat really well, even if it doesn't. Even if it's not plugged in, I would imagine it gets pretty warm.
It's exhausting. There isn't another word for it.
Nope.
Everything is exhausting. Getting up and walking around is exhausting. Eating, showering, talking.
Yeah, it's one of those. I have no doubt.
I had no concept of time the day I came home or the day after. I just slept.
Yeah,
and I ate
which
when
is
people told me I should.
Which is kind of it's what we want you to do. You heal. Your body tends to heal best when you're not conscious. They induce comas in patients for many reasons. But
it's gonna be a rough one.
Yeah,
not gonna lie. This one's not gonna be quite the recovery I would have anticipated.
I've
I'd
heard
be
that.
Lucky to not end up in the ER.
Yeah, they heard multiple times that it was going to be very unpleasant. At least, especially the first 2 weeks, very unpleasant.
I think my bruising didn't help.
No, I have. Yeah, that's definitely. Yeah, that's definitely not helping. Yeah, it's.
No.
No.
Excessive. Extensive.
Yes, that's a good word.
I mean, I've had these words used in replies thus far.
Yes.
Not the norm.
Yeah. I like how the doctor that responded is like, not typical, but not unheard of, I think is how it was phrased.
Well, yeah, because you want to cover all the bases you can.
Yep.
So if you're not lightheaded, nauseous, vomiting,
fever, any signs of infection at the incisions.
Which I already had addressed in previous messages.
Yeah, we keep checking, keeping an eye on stuff. So yeah,
just incredibly uncomfortable.
Yes.
That's an understatement.
Yes.
I'm okay right now in the second, the way I am sitting, with my soft fuzzy blanket and my heated weighted pad over me.
Mm-hmm.
And I got my tea.
Yep. Me too. I got my tea.
It's like 80 outside.
Yes. And I'm a little chilly in here, actually.
It's nice in here. But I'm okay. I'm alive thus far.
Yes. You're kicking. You're moving forward. And hopefully every day from here on out will be a little bit better than the day before. Which it should start to progress in that direction.
I hope so.
Yeah. Well, I certainly hope so, yes. That is the goal. That's what we want. That was the whole point, was to be better. And unfortunately, sometimes being better means being way worse for a couple of times, for a little while. Like, it's every surgery out there.
I didn't plan on bruising like this.
No, I don't think you can.
You've never seen it. I've never seen it.
Not like that.
This is way worse.
You've bruised on all of the procedures you've had, but not like that. So the only thing I can attribute that to is the heaving.
Yep.
It's like had to have caused some extra, some some internal bleeding at the internal sutures. Like it's the only thing I can figure. I've had some doozies over the years. Like I said, they're turning yellow and fading out at the edges. It's like, okay, that's a good sign. I mean, it still sucks, but however, that's the update with that.
Yep. Thank you for saying it sucks.
Yes,
Again, I think that's a gross understatement.
it's as much as I can speak to. You are in a position where you can speak much more. I'm an outside observer. So I can attest to how things look and my interpretation of what I'm seeing, but I cannot speak in any way, shape, or form to exactly what you're going through, because I have no freaking clue. There's certain things I can talk about because I've been there. I've never been there. I will never be where you're at. At least not like this. I don't have that kind of equipment to be removed in the first place, so that's not I can't entirely relate ever.
I had more fibroids. I had a fibroid on the outside,
Mm-hmm.
and then I had fibroids on one of the tubes.
I have a really nice photo of the one.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I like my photos.
I know you do. That's why I put them in the folder. Hard to lose that way.
They'll go in the safe.
Mm-hmm. Add them to the collection.
So someday my children will know.
Well.
They'll actually know what happened and what was wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Unlike myself, just guessing and wondering.
Yeah, trying to figure it out from bits and pieces of stories from third-party observers. Always a good time. No, not really. It's like people communicate. It's like your kids need to understand your family's medical histories. They are relevant.
They are relevant.
Like, it's not a guarantee that they're going to deal with the same stuff, but it does certainly help to know what is consistent in your gene pool. Just saying.
Yes. Yes.
Yep.
So that's done.
Yep.
Now we're just hoping this doesn't get worse.
Yes. Well, we're keeping a close eye on it. So, yeah. So there's that. Not really a fun opening. Just
Well, I'm okay.
You are. I'm very thankful for that. Yeah.
I don't know. How do you want to liven it up? Did you even pick a topic?
I look at stuff all the time. A lot. I look at a lot of stuff. Different types of media. Find ideas and have just things that make me think or catch my attention that could be an interesting conversation starter. And I was reading the one to you. It was a list of 7 sentences that gave me chills. That's what the list is. And I can't say chills, but did make me go, that's an interesting way of looking at stuff. And you like, hey, that'd make a good topic. I'm like, I'm not disagreeing.
Several of them.
I'm not disagreeing. So I'm like, okay, well, let's hit on a couple of those and see which one, see if something really sparks something off. Because, that's usually where it starts. Get an idea, and then one or both of us start going off and throwing ideas at each other. Because, it's what we do. And, when you're talking, okay, like the first one, a man asked a gardener why his plants grew so beautifully. The gardener said, I don't force them to grow. I remove what stops them. Like
That could be deep.
that
Pun
is
intended.
that is a very I'm a guy. I love a good analogy. Love a good
Gotta softball me
analogy.
today, man.
Hmm?
Gotta softball me today.
Yeah, but I love a good analogy, and to me, a really truly good analogy can fit more than just the surface level of what the point you're trying to get across. You know, there's some analogies, they work on the surface, but the minute you dive a little bit deep, it all falls apart and it doesn't fit. That's not a good analogy. You might get the basic idea across, but it doesn't really expound upon the concept. This one is like, that actually fits with a lot of things. We spent a lot of times talking about kids, raising kids, and building relationships. That seems to be where we spent a lot of focus. And any parent that tries to make their child grow in a particular way often fails, and everybody ends up unhappy. Well,
Yeah.
because you're trying to turn the kid into something that you think they should be rather than what they are. And I think there is something to be said for doing some of that as a parent, because, let's be honest, kids are ignorant and they make stupid decisions. But there is an aspect of they are who they are. You can guide that, you can mold that, you can steer them away from things that are not long-term beneficial, which you should do as a parent. But the best thing that you can do in a lot of cases is, instead of pushing them to grow, put them in a situation where they can grow. It's because you can't make, you're never going to make somebody who's hardwired to be a doctor into a really good engineer. It's different mindsets. Your kid could be someday the preeminent child psychologist. That's a completely different mindset than, a general manager, an MBA. I mean, it's not the same skill set, not the same environment. It's not the same kind of place where they can thrive. But what you can do is, when you see that child gravitating towards something, you help remove the obstacles to them discovering more about it. And I was like, okay, you know what? Maybe you don't need to be on the soccer league too. It's getting in the way of what you're actually passionate about. Maybe it's people that's trying to hold them back. Maybe it's that family member that, because we all have at least one family member that is always, I don't know, at least emotionally in the way of you progressing forward and leaving them behind. It's like, oh, that kid will never amount to anything. Like, get that person out of their life because it's holding them back. It's squashing their growth. You put them in. You want to make a plant grow. You put it in fertile soil and you keep the things away from it that are going to limit its growth. Like, yeah, you're not making it grow, but you create the environment where it can. People are kind of the same way, Like you put them in a position where they're criticized. If you plant seeds in soil that's the wrong pH for the plant you've given it, and it's a plant that thrives in shade, and you put it in direct sun, and it likes really damp soil, and you have really dry soil, it's not going to do well.
True.
And then if you don't weed it, you get, it's a high traffic area. People are walking on it. It's like, you need to get rid of the traffic. You need to create the shade, and you need to remove those things that are in the way, keeping it from thriving. People are the same way. I mean, it could be criticism. It could be, that job that they've got and they just can't seem to get out of. Could be they're in school and they're following the completely wrong path. And so he doesn't pay well, but the world needs poets. Yeah.
It's fair.
And the really good poets, they find a way of getting paid. It's
They do.
it's like the world needs
Usually after they're dead.
way too often. Sure, artists are often not truly appreciated while they're still around. But you know what I mean. It's sometimes the thing you need to do the most to encourage others is get out of their way. Sometimes you're holding people back and you don't even know it. Hard to say. It's like, but once you start thinking about it like that, it's like, is something I'm doing limiting their growth instead of encouraging their growth? It's like, because I can't make them grow, but I can either help or hinder. But like I said, it's like, and that's the first one. We started going down the list, and it's like,
That's a very deep one. I apologize. I just don't have it in me to go with the depth.
well, you're partially medicated and tired, and you're healing. We've I was like, this is the third time I get to use the same kind of joke. Not really a joke, but sort of a joke. Is yeah, of course you're tired and sore and beat up. You lost a knife fight with a robot.
Yes, I lost another knife fight with a robot.
And it's like, and of course you lost. You were unconscious at the time. Like I know people who've been stabbed, not in a surgical manner, and they were out of commission for months. So like one dude was out for it was a month and a half before he could return to partial duty. It was pretty gnarly. So it's like the fact that you can be
actual knife fight.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he had it was a 8-inch blade. It went in his side and came out his back.
Yummy.
Yeah, it was not cool. That's a story for a different day. But yeah, nearly started a riot. They put us on lockdown because bad things were going to happen if they didn't. Anyway,
story for another day.
Yeah, story for another day. Maybe not even then, but
agreed.
But the fact that you're on very restricted movement for 2 weeks, and then still quite restricted for a month, and then it's like you're not fully cleared until the doctor gives you the go ahead, at least 7 weeks out. It's like that.
6.
Yeah, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
6 or 7. I forget. I think I read 7 on something.
Whatever.
Yeah,
I got the appointment set up.
Yeah, irrelevant. The fact that it's only that long, like that to me that's still quite impressive. Admittedly, all the cutting was done intentionally. It wasn't any of that, but it's still like you have was it 4 new holes?
Mm-hmm.
That was like you effectively got stabbed through the abdomen in 4 different locations, and
I think one of them is the same.
Yeah, but you're back in business, kind of in a month, still restricted, but not as restricted. Is very, I don't know. That's still.
I'll be working.
Yeah, it's still very impressive to me.
2 weeks, week and a half.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh yes, I would not be.
You would not be.
I would not be. I wouldn't. I couldn't move my toolbox, let alone do my job. Which
we are aware.
We are very blessed. We're very blessed. Anyway, well, that was a little side note kind of thing. But anyway, well, and the second one of these was another one that, to me, it kind of fits with my mentality when it comes to certain things. But anyway, it's imagine a bunch of apples met an orange, but instead of saying it's an orange, they call it apple deficiency syndrome. And I've been reading.
Interesting.
Yeah, well, and I've been reading a lot of articles that they're making the argument that a lot of stuff, specifically current classifications for people, ADHD being the one that they focused on, and autism to a lesser degree, that ADHD isn't a diagnosis. It's not a condition. It's effectively a phenotype. It's a type of person, not an aberration. And they make some very interesting arguments. I don't know if it's, research has got to be researched, and, the arguments are going to be had. Then it's going to get voted on at some point.
Yeah.
But it kind of, to a degree, makes some sense from a certain point of view. The idea that it's not part of the established norm, so obviously it must be a dysfunction.
Because it's not an established norm.
Because it's not the established norm, but it's the people who are who are setting the standards for normal. It doesn't necessarily mean that they're correct.
Yep, that's accurate.
Because they're people, and I've had the same kind of issue with the DSM, specifically the DSM, and this is completely
Diagnostic and Statistic Manual.
Yeah, the Diagnostic and Statistic Manual. We're in version
Mental disorders.
Version 4A. Because they updated it after 4, but it was only a couple of things.
5.
Or 5?
TR.
Yeah. Okay.
We call it 5 TR.
Sure. It's like an update to 5. My issue with it isn't the classifications and all of that. My issue with it is it's voted on.
Yes, a group of people vote.
A group of people vote on it.
Yes.
And if you're voting on it, it's not science, it's politics. And that's where I have an issue. Because politics is about money. Science should be about knowledge. And if you're voting on it, it's politics, which means it's more about money and less about the science behind it. Now, ideally, there shouldn't be any difference between them all, but let's be honest, we know that's not true.
No.
Where there's politics, there's money.
Always.
And that's where I have kind of an issue with some of that stuff. Yeah, exactly. And not saying that anything in there is not an accurate thing, that isn't something that exists or is, let's just say, I'm not making the argument that the things in there aren't necessarily valid. My issue is the only reason that they're in there is because people voted on it. And anytime there's a vote, it's not science, it's politics. And I think it should be based on research more than a vote. That's my 2 cents. For that same kind of reason, it's like, oh, well, you're Apple deficient.
I don't know the actual, let's be clear, I don't know the actual process for the DSM to be created or changed. I'm imagining it's something that you are expressing, but I do not know the exact process.
Now, admittedly, my knowledge in that process is based off of what was covered when I was in college many years ago, taking a psychology course, and we went in depth into the process that the DSM-4 was written. And so the process may have changed since then, but based upon how the changes that were made to 5 and then the update to TR, I am almost going to guarantee there's more voting and more politics involved, not less.
Fair.
And again, it's my opinion, my understanding. If I'm wrong, by all means, send me an email. I'll make a correction. I'm good with that.
Okay.
Do it, please. Email us. feelitandfixit@gmail.com. Not a sponsor, but dang it, use them. Anyway.
All right.
But sometimes, well, okay, again, it's a good analogy. It works with other stuff too, but if you meet somebody that's different, however it is they're different from you, doesn't mean they're lacking the thing that you've got that they don't. Or that they're massively different because they have something that you don't. Whether it's hair color, color of skin, nationality, right-handedness, left-handedness, whatever it happens to be. Just because they're different doesn't mean that there's something wrong with them.
That's right.
You know, because and I'm a very firm believer. If everybody was the same, this place would be very boring, and most people would be useless. It's, but I mean, if you and I
you
were,
say terrible things.
well, no, that's not. I don't mean that in the way that they could be taken. I mean that in, if you and I were exactly the same in basically every way, we wouldn't be a benefit to each other.
It's true.
Because it would mean we had the exact same strengths and we had the exact same weaknesses. How are we supposed to support each other in that? We'd be butting heads where we're strong and falling on our face where we're weak. It's the differences coming together to support each other. It's like where I'm weaker, you're stronger. Where I'm stronger, you're weaker. It's like, and this stuff where, you know, there's some overlap, we figure it out. But it's the differences. If we were exactly the same, one of us would be useless.
Okay.
Or at least to each other. I mean, and if everybody was exactly the same and there were no differences, it means we all had the same opinions, the same likes and dislikes, the same strengths, the same weaknesses. You could delete most of the people and you wouldn't notice a difference because they're not bringing anything new to the situation. So don't do a disservice by labeling somebody something silly. Apple deficiency syndrome.
Apple deficiency syndrome.
At least in this example, apple deficiency syndrome. They're not like you. You know, it's like, okay, that doesn't, it's like, don't turn it into something, it's like that deficiency, it's like you're making, it means, oh, you're lacking something that you should have and you don't have, but we have it. So we're better than you. And you're weird. Here's some medication. It'll turn your skin red and you'll look like an apple now. You know, it's like, you'll take this pill, you'll fit in better.
That's already happening.
Uh-huh. And that's kind of my point. I think this is another one of those, I can come at it from every direction and I understand it, but at the same time, I think in a lot of cases we do a disservice to people by putting labels on them.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
Because all too often they just become relegated to their diagnosis. Well, that's all you are. Oh, well, you're autistic with ADHD, and you're no longer fix it. You're the ADHD autistic dude. And you stop interacting with me as fix it, and you start interacting with me as the ADHD dude. Like, but at the same time, that label can get people the help they need to overcome the deficiencies. So it's like the label itself can be a good thing. It just depends on how it's utilized.
Yeah.
And that's
true.
This kind of fits along with this too. I have heard multiple times from people over the years who had serious illnesses. MS, cancer is a big one, where the minute other people found out about their illness, they started treating them differently. They were treated like they were the illness.
I hear it a lot. Yes.
Rather than the person that they were before they knew about it. And I think that happens all too often when we put labels on stuff. I'm not saying we shouldn't put labels to it. I'm saying be educated and don't do that. It's just because it's a part of their story doesn't mean it's the whole story.
It's true.
Yeah.
And some people are just self-conscious regardless.
Oh, yes. And yes. Some people become very when they learn things about themselves, when they get a label for themselves, whether it's, ADHD, again, I keep going back to ADHD because I can relate to that one, cancer, MS, it's not that other people are, I don't think it's always the case that other people are focused on it as much as they are, because it's now becoming such a large part of their life, because illnesses like that take over.
They do.
And they kind of have to. When you're fighting a battle for your life, you don't have time to focus on anything other than the fight. Get that. Understand that. But once you have that lens, you start seeing things through that lens, and it colors everything that you see. So you might be seeing things that really aren't there. So I think it's a kind of a combination of both. And I think it's both ends need, we as people, we need to work on that. We need to not see offense where it isn't, and we need to not offend where it doesn't need to be. Just saying. That's 2 cents on that one. Little added benefit to
Very
that one.
fair.
This is another one that I like. This is the third one in that list. And I kind of enjoy it. Because we talk about relationships quite a bit on here. It's kind of what we do. And this one I like. When the road gets bumpy, you don't leave the car, you put your seatbelt on.
Yes. Yes.
You know what? That is
That's a good one.
It is a good one, and it works in so many different. It's like for us, relationships. It's like a relationship. All relationships at some point are going to get bumpy. If you actually get deep into somebody's life, it's going to get bumpy at some point. And you got 2 options. You can bail out of the car, bail out of the relationship, or you can strap in and go, no, we're riding this sucker out. And I think if you bail out, you never get where you were wanting to go.
It's true.
Not saying there isn't a time to bail out of the car. If it's heading off,
there can be.
There can be. But just because the road is bumpy, it's like you can count. There's very few things in life you can count on. One of those things you can count on is life is going to get bumpy. And when you have somebody else in your life and you're traveling down that same road with them, it's your life's going to get bumpy, their life is going to get bumpy, or your life together is going to get bumpy. Guaranteed.
Guaranteed.
And I don't care what's going on in your life. I don't care where you are at financially or whatever. You could be multi-billionaires. At some point, the road is going to get really bumpy. And yeah, I can say everybody that I've known over the years that have been married longer than I've been alive, they all said the same thing. It's like, yeah, it got hard, and we figured it out, and on the other side of really hard was some of the greatest adventures of my life. Wouldn't trade it for anything. It sucked at the moment, but on the other side of that, it's like you get through that bumpy road and you get to destinations you never dreamed of. It's like sometimes it's worth the bumpy ride.
Sometimes it's worth the bumpy ride.
And what was it? We went up to the UP, the Porcupine Mountains, for our anniversary a few years back. And it was gorgeous.
It was.
Absolutely gorgeous. And there were some bumpy roads and some gnarly trails and mosquitoes that you could put a saddle on and ride across and fly across the countryside.
They're scary.
And
the black flies.
Oh, the black flies were horrible. Anyway, but the only way to get to the absolutely gorgeous views that it had to offer was go through all the bumpy stuff. But once you got there, it was worth the hike. Sometimes you just got to strap in and ride out the nasty stuff. No, so like I said, I kind of like that one. This is another one too. The next one kind of goes along with that same kind of idea. We romanticize the stars, but forget the dark is what made them visible.
It's true.
Like, there's sayings like, if it wasn't, you wouldn't appreciate a sunny day if it wasn't for the rain. You don't appreciate the snow. You don't appreciate the snow in the winter until you've lived through 100 degrees and 90% humidity in the summer. You don't appreciate the 90-degree, the 100 degrees in the summer. You're waist deep in the snow in the middle of, January. You don't truly appreciate something until you've experienced its opposite. You really can't appreciate the good times. And it's like you go through some rough times and you really look back and go, those are really good times. And then when they come back around, it's like, in all honesty, things are pretty good. Things are cool. This is a good place to be. Bumpy's coming. Bad stuff's coming at some point because it's just gonna, because that's life. It just is. But it's like you got to remember, it's like the bad times are what teach you to appreciate the good times, and the good times give you the perspective you need to get through the bad times.
It's true. I mean,
It sounds kind of hokey and Hallmarkish.
Very much. It's weird for you, but if you've ever been out in a stormy, cloud-filled night where you don't see the stars, and you're out in the country in the pitch black.
Oh yeah.
But the stars are there; they're just covered.
Sometimes you just need that little bit of clearing to point the way. This is another one that's it's different than the other ones, kind of, but one day you'll realize that no one was really watching and you could have done whatever you wanted. There is something to that. It's like, everybody, well, not everybody, you get self-conscious. Really, what are they going to think? And whatever it is, I always wanted to get up on stage and sing, but I don't want people. It's like, what? Sometimes you just gotta get up there, grab a mic, and suck, and forget what other people think. And it doesn't matter. You want to learn how to. You want to go take some college courses and learn how to play guitar. I'm not gonna tell people to go out and get a bunch of college loans and take classes that they aren't going to lead them to a paycheck. Never going to do that. But to go expand yourself to make yourself a better person, taking some classes without putting yourself into massive amounts of debt, you know what? Go do it. Don't worry about what other people are thinking. Because even the things that, taking a college class for music, you're expanding yourself and learning to appreciate something better. You're improving yourself. Even if that improvement isn't direct, you're making yourself better, which is going to make everything in your life, everything that you touch in your life, better, including the people around you. And what's holding you back from doing stuff like that? You want to go... Started playing games with my daughter at the local game store. Why didn't I do that before? I would have loved it because I was worried about, in part because I don't want, I don't want other people thinking about me being a weird. People already know that I'm kind of that weird guy. It's like, do I really want people to? Yeah, you know what? I don't care anymore. I'm at a point in my life I don't care. This could be fun. Let's do it. Oh yeah, you know what? This is fun. I enjoy it. Let's do this. Let's keep doing this. Don't worry about what other people think, because I can guarantee you, they're not thinking about you nearly as much as you think they are.
That's true.
People are not paying the slightest bit of attention to you. And if you don't believe that, go drive on a city street sometime.
More often than not.
Nobody is paying attention to you.
In their own little world.
You could be driving a semi-truck with neon lights on it. They won't see you. They don't pay the slightest bit of attention to you. So why are you... And I heard somebody put it, it's like, I won't take criticism from anybody I wouldn't take advice from, because I already don't value their opinion. If I value your opinion, then I will take criticism from you. Otherwise, you mean nothing. Your word means nothing. I don't care. Like, stop giving people that don't deserve it control over what you're doing with your life. Not necessarily saying that a stranger might not have a good bit of advice for you, but at the same time,
be wary.
You need to be
conscious.
If you're going to do something for yourself, why are you worried about what everybody else thinks? Now, I'm not talking spouse. I'm not necessarily talking parents in this case. Could be. But your spouse is somebody that you should very much care what they think, because anything you do is affecting them because you're attached. But basically anybody else, you're an adult. Why are you giving them, somebody else, that much control over your life?
Oh, people do it all the time. They don't even realize that.
Yeah. Oh, constantly. All the time. And I'm not saying throw caution to the wind and just do all kinds of crazy crap, but
think a little less of everybody else.
Yeah. Don't worry about who's watching, because chances are it's nobody. It's a very freeing thought. It kind of goes along with
it is
something I talked about before. Is people aren't against you, they're for themselves.
Typically.
If you realize how little people think about you, you wouldn't waste your time thinking about them either. Just saying. This is another one. It's just more thought-provoking than anything else.
Okay.
It's funny how day by day nothing changes, but when you look back, everything is so different.
That's true. You get so caught up in the mundane.
Oh, yeah. Well, and like often change isn't like a light switch in most cases.
In most cases.
Most of the time, it's tiny, small, insignificant, seemingly insignificant little steps. If you have kids, you know exactly what that is. Because you don't see them grow every day. You know, so you're looking at them, they're just your kid. And then a couple of years go by and you think, it's like, wait a sec, you used to fit in the palm of my hand.
It's so true.
It wasn't that long ago. But I can't think of a single moment where I'm like, oh my gosh, you're bigger. Nope, sorry. It's like, you're not measuring with micrometers every stinking day to quantify their growth patterns. It's like you don't see it. It's so small and seemingly insignificant, but those tiny little things over time add up to something huge.
They do.
And life is often like that. Self-improvement is almost always like that. The decision might be a light switch, but it's the work that is tiny, small, little incremental changes. Yeah,
At least effective changes.
Yeah, well, I mean, yes. Sometimes it's you get the momentum going, and then you steer.
Well, sometimes bad can be too, but
Yes. Oh, yeah. All fun. Nobody's. Well, I don't. If you've ever looked at their picture collages of people, you know, like, okay, 18 years old, first drug arrest, and then they have multiple. Wow, word blew out of my head. But booking photos, like year after year after year of the same person, you just see their slow deterioration, and it's like they're completely unrecognizable 10, 15 years later. It's like if you look at picture 1 and picture 10, huge difference. If you look at picture 1 and picture 2, changes are minor. And if you break those, that's like, okay, that was a year. That's 365 steps between picture 1 and picture 2. And no one would have seen the changes between day 50 and day 51. Completely imperceptible. But it was the culmination of all of the tiny little steps and all of those years slowly adding up to this. It's not the same person anymore. Most things in life are like that. Most. It's like your personal journey to improvement, whether that's through reading books and going to school, studying a skill, studying a trade, exercising, all of it. It's like you're going to do, it's like you make those changes. You're not going to see the improvements every day. You're not going to pick up, nobody's ever gone to the gym and on that first day it's like, oh my gosh, I'm so huge and jacked and my body weight is so much low. Like that's never happened. That's never happened. And in fact, after the first month, you're like, why do I keep doing this? I'm just still sore. And then month 2 comes along, and then month 3, and you're like, I don't see this. And then you bump into that, after 6 months, you bump into that person you haven't seen in 6 months. You're like, oh my gosh, you look great. Like, okay, I what are you talking about? And then you look at through their eyes, and you're like, wow, there is a lot of change. But it wasn't a change. It was 1,000 little changes. One tiny little step at a time.
Does matter.
Hello, Dory.
Yes.
Yes.
And Dory's doing well.
She is. Oh, yes, we didn't mention Dory's surgery. It went well, and
yep,
her stitches are out,
mm-hmm.
and she's all jumping around and being all crazy again, and her hair has mostly grown back in the locations where they shaved her.
She just doesn't understand why I'm not.
Nope.
I'm not okay.
Nope. No, she is a dog. No concept whatsoever.
But she knows.
She knows
anyway.
She knows something's wrong. But yeah, dogs are great that way.
How many more on the list?
Just one.
Okay.
And this is another one of those it's different. Someone asked me, "What's your favorite place?" I don't have a favorite place. I have my favorite people. And whenever I'm with them, that becomes my favorite place.
I like that.
I like that. I like that a lot. And I can kind of relate to that. Like, there are places I like to be. Or I should say, there are places I liked to be. And now looking back, it's like, did I like... let me back up just a little bit. I've been back to those places. And they're not that special anymore. The memory of them is very special, but the place itself is just a place. I think it had more to do with the people I was with in those places than anything else. Like, there have been... At one point, we lived in a tiny little second-rate trailer that we had to fix the roof and gut the interior and make it livable.
Mm-hmm.
And we made it work. Was it perfect? No. It had its shortcomings. But after a while, it's like I got a lot of great memories from right there.
It took you a while to say that.
Yeah. But like it's like I had you and I had the girls and there were some good times there and we had fun and we lived life. Yeah, I keep telling our girls, it's like, I don't like a lot of people. And it's not that I dislike people. It's I haven't established a relationship with a lot of people. Specifically.
That
I have no stomach for drama.
has been a life choice, yes.
Yeah, I have no stomach for drama. I'll happily happily help people through their drama. I just don't want the splash of your drama getting into my pool. So I keep cracking the joke that there wasn't enough people in the world that I liked, so I had to create a couple of my own.
I don't think it's really a joke.
It's not really a joke, but it was like where you and the girls are. Those are my favorite places. While we're there, might not be my favorite place, but in the end, those are my favorite places. I think I told you this story before. This was many, many years ago when our youngest was just a few months old. I ended up going to China and Mongolia, which are beautiful countries. And we ended up, while we were in Mongolia, going to helping out at this camp, and we ended up hooking up with a German national that was there. And we went dirt bike riding and two-tracking into the outback of Mongolia. And there was this spot that he liked to take his family, and because of big sand pits and big hills, and it was a really tall freaking hill. And the view from up top was just breathtaking. And it was windy, and it took forever to get up there. And after I got up there and got all the way back down, they decided to take the truck up, so the rest of the guys didn't have to walk. That irked me slightly. It was a slog. Anyway, and I remember sitting on top of this hill, and I mean, it was almost like a cliff off the backside of it, just looking over this valley forever. And I just remember thinking, man, I wish you were there so you could see this too.
Yeah. I remember you telling me the story.
And it was a great place. It was beautiful. I think part of the beauty of it was the isolation. There were just so few people. Within a square mile, there was like 8 people. And we were all there together. It was just like, it might have been 10 people at that point, but it was just quiet and untouched and pristine. It's like, this is just gorgeous.
It was the moment you would have
and I couldn't share it.
Sharing.
And I couldn't share it. I have a recording of the wind from the top of the hill, and I had some pictures, but it just didn't. It's like that's not really sharing the experience. Which is why going up and seeing the Lake in the Clouds,
mm-hmm.
and Porcupine Mountains,
yep.
and Lake Superior, and I got that beautiful shot of the stones right outside the park,
mm-hmm.
and
which is on my office wall.
It's like, and it's just like, yeah, it's like we've seen some stuff together,
mm-hmm.
and like those are, yeah, like. I mean, I can say it's like, I don't really like living in the city that much.
I don't.
I love the proximity to stuff. Not that we take advantage of it all that much. I mean, there's like 20 different pizza places within like 2 miles.
And that is not an exaggeration.
No.
But I have said before, if you want to try one, let's try one.
Yeah.
Try one tonight if you want.
But, like, yeah, you know what? You're here.
I'm here.
The girls are here. To a lesser extent, the dog is here. She'll go wherever we go. But I think, hey, you know what? I'm good.
Happily.
I'm good. So I guess it's like, it's like there are places you like to be. Like you love the beach, watching the sunset. It's your happy place.
Haven't done it in a long time.
No. And walking in sand right now, I think would probably kick your butt.
Yeah, it wouldn't happen.
It would not be a good time. But, and it's pretty. I'm kind of indifferent to it. But like sitting on the beach next to you, watching you while you're watching it.
I mean, seeing a really good sunset. Or
Yeah.
some cloudy massacre.
Yeah.
Like a really good sunset. It's been a while.
It's been a while. And it's like we have no control over the weather. It's like, oh, it should be great. And the lake is completely covered in clouds, and all you see is a bleh. Yeah. I mean, I'm not saying it's not beautiful. Just, it's not a hot button thing for me. At the same time, I go gaga over really nice cars, and you really don't give a crap. So, a really well done classic car is my Sunset.
I know, honey.
But that is what it is. And I think that I am no longer as youthful as I used to be. And as I get further and further from youth, the more I realize, more I've come to realize the location isn't as important to me.
That's fair. I mean, I don't want to be surrounded by this noise forever, but that's fair.
Yeah. Yeah, again, it's one of those, I've grown completely indifferent to the noise for the most part.
Nope, I have not.
Yeah.
Nope.
Now, the skunks in the backyard, I could live without the skunks.
Atrocious.
Freaking stinky little buggers popping up all over the place. We literally lived in the woods.
Yeah, backwoods
In-
northern Michigan.
In backwoods, I mean, 450, our house was 450 feet off of the road.
Yep. I grew up in the woods.
And you couldn't, when the trees were out, you couldn't see our house from the road.
When the leaves were out.
Yeah, when the leaves were out. And when the leaves weren't out, you could make out, you knew where the road was. You'd see glimpses of slivers of cars as they go by. And we never had skunks
The
like we
issues that
do
we have here
in town.
is disgusting.
It's absurd. It's absurd. It's completely apropos of nothing, but other than that,
I know I haven't been very talkative. Not that I didn't have opinions and thoughts. Hopefully next week I'll feel better.
one step at a time.
One step at a time.
Well, and like you say in the intro, with the occasional rant, that I will have no trouble doing it.
That you don't.
I can talk for an hour. You give me
You
a
can.
subject that I can latch onto and I can talk.
So I'll sneak this one in before we end. The spooky season seems to be full gone. I'm seeing it everywhere. I'm
Yep.
waiting on more pumpkin. That should be around the corner. I mean, Labor Day is next weekend, so
Mhm.
that should be a thing like any day now. Keeping an eye out. Been watching these spooky season videos with our daughter about like treats and decorations and all that kind of fun stuff. And she wanted to buy, the silicone skull mold. And I saw a couple different nifty things with it. One of it could be a chocolate covered strawberry skull head, or you could do the chocolate covered walnut, and like walnut's the brain. So anyway, just want to throw that out there.
Okay.
It's on the way. Spooky's on the way.
I'm aware. Like I said, not a hot button issue for me.
I know. I just like to talk about it at the end.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yes, she knows it's dinner time. She's very aware.
Yeah. She's all despondent.
And I think I'm going to take a nap.
That sounds like a plan.
Yeah.
Does sound like a plan.
Have you check out my discoloration and things, and then
Sure.
I will get in a short walk later at some point.
I'll let it
But-
cool back off again.
Yeah, definitely.
I can appreciate that.
While the
right.
cooler temps are coming.
And thankfully they are cooler than they have been.
Very, very grateful.
Very much so. Anyway,
Okay.
I hope people had fun with it today.
I mean, sorry, it's so boring. It's like ridiculous. But I genuinely am on medication.
Yes, you are. And that right now is a good thing.
Yeah, it is.
Again, you got stabbed multiple times by a robot. It's
I thought I was getting off of it, but circumstances.
Yep. Nope, too soon. Okay. Anyway.
Anyway.
So, with all that being said,
With all that said,
I'm Fix-It.
I'm Feel It.
We hope you join us in the future.
Until next week.
You all have a great one.